لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله.
What's happening? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All right, so today's question, very deep, it's profound. You know, what's the purpose of God creating man? I mean, this is so deep, and I believe that when we don't get the correct answer to this, I think this is really setting the precedence of creating atheists subconsciously and not even knowing it, right? Because you gotta, like, why would God create a devil? We're gonna have to talk about that one day. Like, you all loving, all like, what's wrong with you? And then when we see things happening, when children get abused and just don't make no sense, it's like, where's God then? You understand what I'm saying? So when it talks about like the purpose of the soul, and we want to contrast that against calamities in a sense, it's hard to believe in a God. And I think we just need to be real about that, right? And see, these are the kind of questions that need to be answered. So, you know, inshallah, I'll be granted some type of wisdom from the Most High to try to articulate this. Because here's the thing: we know that there's a design, 4 seasons, and you can see order. You know, XY chromosomes. You can see these beautiful things, right? I don't know if y'all hear the cicadas going, right? And so anyway, you can hear these beautiful things, right? Or see these beautiful things in nature, right? And that's the beauty too. When you look in nature, nature is going to defy logic. Okay, so let me come back to this point. In the Quran, the purpose of why man is created, the Quran says, we created you to test you. So then we gave you basically eyes and ears to test you. Another verse says, we created to test you to see who among you will do righteous deeds. Another one says, and some of you are but trials to one another. Some people, it's a trial, right? I remember sharing that with my brother, Minister G. He's like, man, I don't like it, man. I don't like it, right? So it's this test. Now, here's the thing. If destiny is 100% fixed and there's no free will, then surely we'd be nothing more than mere crash dummies. Because if you know the outcome 100%, there's no need to test, right? So it can't be 100% destiny per se, okay? All right. Because then if you already know the outcome, what you testing it for? It don't make no sense, okay? Now, free will and destiny are really, I'm going to go the 50-50 path, and hopefully I can explain that. Well, let me explain it real quick. Destiny is a fixed outcome that's already done based upon the choices you select, but the choices is free will. It's sort of like going to a game show, playing the game. What's behind that door is already behind that door, but you get to pick which door you want to select of the prizes. You understand what I'm saying? That's the free will part, okay? All right, anyway. So this test, we're here to test you. Now, the Quran says we made you to be a slave and to worship us. Worship is the same word as slave. We made you to worship us. Now that can sound very, very egotistical to the human mind. You need us to worship you? Oh, like, you ain't got nothing better else to do? We got to worship you? It sounds very egotistical. That's not what it really means. Worship literally means to adore, adoration. And that's why I'm going with nature. So when you come back to nature and you know, wait a minute, there's a system here, there's order. If there's a system and there's order, there's a programmer, because there's a program running, okay? All right. There's a lot of things, if not everything within nature defies logic. Electric eel. Electricity and water don't mix, but you have an electrical eel. You can't smell anything in water, but a shark can smell stuff over 100 yards away in water. A chameleon can change colors. A lightning bug, one of my favorite, dude, butt lights up, flashes butt light, right? Like, what? A butt light? That's crazy, right? Like, there's a lot of things in nature that defies logic. The bee is said to shouldn't aerodynamically be able to fly based upon his body weight to his wing ratio, allegedly. But the bee makes honey, a healing substance, and propolis, another healing substance we don't really talk about too much. And we can go on and on and on, right? Snakes shed his skin, right? Like a whole bunch of stuff. So there's a lot of things in nature that defies logic. Why? So we can be in admiration of the Creator. Now, that's not an egotistical thing to admire, because what it's really pointing to within admiration is being in a state of gratitude, to be grateful. Okay? That's the key. So, gratitude, admiration is really a reflection of appreciation. That's the key. So, air. Without it, you die. Invisible. To me, out of all of the elements in creation, but let's just go with the base four: fire, air, earth, water. You can see three. You can't see one of them. And one of them you absolutely need for life. You can go a period of time, days, months. Some people are breatharians now and don't even do water and food. So years, days, months, and years without physical substance or sustenance, right? But you can't you can't fast from breath. You up out of here, baby. You gone, right? So the invisible wind, which has always been synonymous with spirit, shows us that we need to be grateful for the invisible programmer. It's about gratitude. And then when you really start understanding the magnitude of this Creator, it's very abundant. Just like the air is abundant. Just like the water is abundant. Just like when you understand the science of the garden, one seed produces all of the watermelons and cabbage right there, and we took one scallion green onion, just one, and you know when you cut your onions, you got the bottom, the white part, the bulb, with the little bitty roots. Put that back in the soil, then multiple onions start to pop up, right? Abundance. The thing that we said eat of the tree, in a sense, we produce this in abundance for you. This is easy to do. So you actually start thinking and witnessing that, whoa, my sustainer really got me. You plant a tree over here, you get multiple peaches, right? My Creator really got me. And since my Creator has me, I need to just sit back and go for the ride. And that's what Allah's really doing. Hey, I tell y'all what God's name is. And this is one of the attributes of Allah. Jalil, the majestic one. Your majesty. Meaning, fall back. All expenses paid for. I got you. You ain't got to pay for nothing. You ain't got to sweat anything. Just fall back. I think you would be nice while I'm doing all this for you. But, just be mindful. Think of me. Because I thought about you and already provided you with everything that you needed. So the purpose is really simple. Gratitude. Appreciation. You could have been a worm. You could have been a maggot. We could have been anything of an intelligence that may not be of the conscious capacity to reflect upon creation, to even give gratitude to a creator. That's heavy. That's heavy. You could just be something that don't have that ability, in a sense, right? You know how you just could have been that. So that's the purpose. That's the purpose, right? Dare we go into a deeper subject matter and talk about the devil so we can start to get into the psychology of this creator? We'll do that in another video because I want to keep these short. But that's the purpose. Beautiful glorification of Allah. And understanding that all expenses are paid for. Only thing we have to do is just show up and be thankful and get into a place where it's like Rumi. Once you taste it, you taste this love of the divine, there's no room to do anything else.
Be drunk with love, praying, for love is all that exists. You are the beloved and the goal.
You don't want to do anything else. You don't want to do anything else. The purpose of creation is to test, but that test is it has a couple sections in it, right? Because some of you we made as a trial for one another. But it's all about soul growth at the end of the day. And outside of soul growth, or a reflection of soul growth, comes back to, again, appreciation. That is it. And you can only appreciate that which you are mindful of. So the worship is to be mindful of the Creator. Real simple. Real simple. Okay? All right, man. So I'm out of here. Yeah, this may be the cuppa, and just let it go. All right, man. I get with y'all. Hit me up. Golden Heart Love Center. We got Golden Heart Dawah coming soon. It's more of the teachings and whatnot. But Golden Heart Love Center, this is where I'm at. My guys in there said he gonna finish up the inside today with the downstairs space. Inshallah, I heard that all week. So hopefully that can happen. All right, man. Hit me up. Golden Heart Love Center. Check out the website. Also, you've got the Cash App. You see it? That is Golden Heart Love CTR, which is center, a gold heart, a pop up. Anything you can do is greatly appreciated. Everything that you do, 100% goes to the creation of this beautiful sacred space. So the friends of God can come together and not only have these conversations, but be able to provide solutions and just beautiful fellowship as well. Okay? All right. Peace.
لا إله إلا الله